What's eating you?
I don't know. But I have a feeling something would like to. Vince, what's that?
Hey gang, Uncle Todd here, along with Sonny. And tonight we're going to look into some rock and roll. Now originally I had thought of doing Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, but as we all know, Gene Simmons is might bit litigious. And so decided to do a different film. We're doing Monster Dog, which stars Alice Cooper. And yes, I'm wearing a Ramones shirt because I'm not going to wear a Kiss shirt, and I don't have an Alice Cooper shirt, so stuck with the Ramones. Anyway, this was made in 1984. It was a Spanish-Italian co-production. At this time in his career, Alice was just about over. His last 4 albums had not done very well. He fell back off the wagon and had gotten extremely drunk to the point where he almost died. And after getting himself cleaned up, he was looking for options when he got offered this role. Now, when he signed on, he was with the understanding that this would only be seen in the Philippines. I don't know if that was a selling point or not, but it was written and directed by the great Claudio Fragasso, who, uncredited, but helped direct with Bruno Mattei such Italian horror films as Zombie 3, Rats, Night of Terror, and Hell of the Living Dead. He himself also did Scalps under pseudonym, Beyond Darkness under pseudonym, and most infamously Troll 2, considered one of the worst and funniest films of all time. But we're looking at Monster Dog. And Monster Dog opens with a music video by rock star Vincent Raven. This and the other music video are the only times Cooper will not be dubbed. After that, we cut to an old house where a caretaker gets menaced. Man, I haven't seen ordinary dogs look that menacing since The Omen. Oof. Anyway, we cut to Vincent, his girlfriend Sandra, and his crew/friends, who he is taking to his old family house to shoot another music video. And they're stopped by the local sheriff, where they are told that there's some wild dogs out that are menacing the area. Kind of reminiscent of when Vincent was a kid, you know?
You know about the dogs, don't you?
Yeah, we'll watch her.
There already have been 5 deaths in the area.
5? At the other roadblocks, they only mentioned 2 deaths.
Well, Now there's 3 more to chalk up to the damn dogs.
After Vincent and his group leave, the dogs make it 7. This thing means business. Vincent accidentally runs over a dog, and when they go to check, they get that staple of all 80s horror films.
Now he's back at last. He will command the hounds. And all of you will die.
And just as quickly as he appeared, he disappears. Just like another kind of guy. What was his name? You're doomed. You're all doomed. Crazy Ralph. Well, they can't find the dog, although something does jump out at Vincent and Sandra when they go look. And they continue on to the house where they can't find the caretaker. They find food, drink, made up bedrooms, no caretaker. Later, Vincent and Sandra are talking, and he tells her about how when he was a child there was a series of wild dog attacks, and a lot of people blamed his father because his father had been suffering from a mental illness, and a vigilante group killed him. And that's why he hasn't returned since. But they need the house for the music video. That night, when they all sleep, Angela has a dream about Vincent. Not that kind of dream.
You hear me? Hey, Vince. It's me, Angela. No! I don't want to die!
Well, after she's calmed down, the group gets back to sleep, and next morning they begin working on the music video, and the caretaker shows up. Kinda. Well, Angela runs off, wandering through the woods in kind of a daze. Can't blame her. Vince grabs a shotgun, remember the dogs, and goes off to look for her while the rest go to the phone to call for help. Phone's out. Just then, 4 hunters show up. And they're looking for Vince. And they've been hunting for the dogs. And they kind of invite themselves in. At which point we find out they're not that friendly.
What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna shoot this here silver bullet right through his heart.
Well, I don't think there's any talking to those guys. Vince does find Angela, and they head back to the house, where things go a bit awry.
Wait here a minute.
Now!
And now, just to make our Straw Dog's homage complete, Vince hunts down the vigilantes.
Hey, you! All right, Vince Roberts.
The fourth man was holding the others hostage, more or less, and was planning to kill them when they disarm him. And just as it looks to be going well, the dogs return. Last vigilante kind of took care of himself. Suddenly, the dog's quiet. Why? Something much worse is approaching. Regular old bullets don't seem to do anything to it. But after it takes care of the two guys, it chases Sandra and Mary Lou throughout the house. Then the attack stops again. Vince shows up, and they barricade in the bedroom. And Mary Lou is starting to have some not so nice thoughts about Vince.
Where was he when that monster dog crashed through the living room door? And when Jordan was eaten alive? And before that, in the bathroom? And now? Why don't the dogs attack us? Tell me the truth, Vince. Your neighbors were right. You are the monster dog.
After her fit and accusation, she kind of collapses into tears, and Vince comforts her. After a little while, they've decided they've got to make a run for it. Now, their van was disabled by the vigilantes, but the vigilantes have a car. So the three of them make their way to the car. There's no keys. So Vince and Sandra have to go back to search the bodies. Well, it turns out one of them is still alive.
Here, catch. Vince!
I'll get you yet, Vince Roberts. Sandra, grab the gun. Help! Help!
Good old Taz. Just passing through. As they head back to the car, the dogs return. And Vince makes a rather unsettling discovery.
Vince!
It's amazing, isn't it? They suddenly all calm down. Just like that.
Getting back to the car, they take off. Only to find things aren't too good with Mary Lou.
You haven't fallen asleep, have you? Mary Lou?
Well, while still reacting to that, Vince is attacked by the monster dog, and, well, we kind of know what's going to happen to the car, don't we? Luckily, Sandra was thrown free. Unluckily, the old man pops back up and he's got some explaining to do.
Vince was just a baby. Horrible things happened. His father sank his teeth into my neck. And now Vince has come back to help me. No. For better or worse, we have a new king who will live in the house of the dead forever.
Yep, it's the crazy old man the whole time. Now that he's bitten Vince, sorry. Now that he's bitten Vince, Vince will be the new leader of the pack, like his father was. Then the old man keels over dead, injuries from the crash or whatnot. Funny, bullets didn't seem to harm him. Oh well. Sandra finds Vince, and he's starting to change, and he's begging her to kill him.
God help me.
Then, while she giggles in hysteria, walking down the road, we get a replay of the music video that opened the film, along with clips of her friends and whatnot, and then the credits. Because you can't have a werewolf movie without the main person getting killed by the person who loves him. We've learned that from Universal, The Wolfman. Frankenstein meets the Wolf. Well, no, not that one. House of Frankenstein. House of Dracula. Well, no, House of Dracula, he was cured. Never mind. But, yeah. Curse of the Werewolf, where the adopted father has to kill him. But anyways. This is an odd film. It's hard to judge Cooper's acting because of the dubbing. But let's face it, he wasn't really a trained actor at that time. Although, in a few years after this, he would make his incredible comeback with the massive selling album Trash and the huge hit Poison. And then, a few years after that, he helped popularize one of the great pop culture phrases in Wayne's World when they bowed down before him to proclaim, "We're not worthy." And he's still going strong. I think he has an album coming out, or has come out, this year. But part of the problem with the film is that, unlike Troll 2, which is just absurd and ridiculous and badly acted to the whole thing, this has a pretty good setup, some good scares, and then that wolf puppet shows up and just kills everything. But because the film was working fairly well up to that point, it kind of kills any of that momentum. And Cooper doesn't give a bad performance. Some of his silent reaction shots are pretty good. There's a great moment where the dogs are coming into the house and they're cutting between the dogs and him, and it's almost like he senses them. And it's one of the better shots in the film. And we rest of the cast are all Spanish, as is the crew, but it was co-financed with an Italian company, which is how we get Claudio Fragasso to be the director and screenwriter, as he usually was. And this, of course, caused problems Figurossi doesn't speak Spanish. The Spanish don't speak Italian. Cooper doesn't speak either. So it must have been an amazing experience trying to have a director talk to someone who will then relay that to someone else who can then relay it to whoever. It's just wow. But it's not a bad film. It's not a great film. It's just kind of okay. But if you're a Cooper fan, you might just enjoy seeing him on the screen. But if you're a monster fan, the dogs are good. There's some good jump scares and some good chases, but that darn puppet. Why the puppet? Although Cooper's transformation is fairly good. You should check that part out. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.